let's talk Ilus real quick. Now, listen, I want to see questions in the comment section. What do you want me to ask JP? If I have him on again, if he's nice enough to have to visit the BFC and let me interview him again and ask him some questions, which, he's been a great guest. Anytime I've had a question, sometimes I throw him on a whim and I just throw a question at him. He's very, very, he's very accommodating. So, and, I hope they have him on live so that way you guys could ask the questions. But, we're sitting at 4 cents. Is this where we want to be? No, they're not happy with the share price. And, I hear the term dilution being thrown around left and right. This isn't a company that is just throwing shares out there left and right with no purpose whatsoever. If you look at everything that they have done, very few shares have been added, and they've really tamed it as nicely as they possibly could. And so when they do have to add shares, when they do have to clear toxic debt and they have none now, to get a better deal with someone else. And if you look at my interview with JP before, he'll tell you right out that financing is drying up. And so there are very limited options, but they're doing what's right. And it shows in the annual results. This isn't a company going underwater. This is a company that does have profit. They have a lot of, actually, let's look at what they have. Why don't I just stop droning about it? Ultimate Trader put this on and I covered this before. This is just a thing where, like, you're going to have people that are irritated by the pullback in share price. I think the share price sucks. Anybody that bought into Ilus and knows what they're worth and knows what they're doing and knows what they're capable of and knows how they're the global events and the global market sentiment, how it's impacting their ability to execute certain things. Yeah, you don't think they're pissed at their valuation? I mean, but look at all, like 90% of stocks over the last year, there's been an absolute retracement. And that's just the truth. Now, have they handled everything 100% perfect? They'll be the first to admit that they haven't been perfect on everything, but they've done a lot right. And so I don't think they're trying to burn us. If they wanted to do that, they could have done it a long time ago. They could have really diluted, and then they could have just ran a reverse split and said, see ya. So look at what sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but am I? I'm just speaking the truth. Let's look at what this, company has done. 595% revenue increases over 2021. You can't say, oh, that's because of QIND. They're a part of the Ilus umbrella now. So if you were complaining, yes, does it have its own ticker? Yes. I mean, it's not directly related share price wise, but it is going to be eventually because they report all the revenues. Ilus gets to report all of this. That's the whole point. And guess what? If QIND pisses you off, you better go taking a hike, because guess what? It's going to happen with ERT. It's going to happen with Hyperion. They're going to build subsidiaries all over the place. They're going to have a monster conglomerate in which all the revenues get they get reported to Ilus, the parent company. So eventually, Ilus is going to be so undervalued where when a strong market return, when an economy returns, when global functionality returns, guess what? It's going to catch up rather quickly. So, and that's the thing. I think for those of you that got in QIND, I'm not in QIND. I wish I would have. I called it at 28. That was a great, when WSFT closed out, it was a 28. That was a great solid point to get in. It consolidated very nicely in that range. But I'm not complaining about that. And if you're an Ilus shareholder, you should be applauding them for having a subsidiary that's doing what they're doing. So, and like I said, if it pisses you off, it's not the only one. All right, because they're going to do it with ERT. And if ERT, man, I have my thoughts on ERT. Personally, I think it's going to be E1. I'm actually going to jump on something right here in a second to show you why I think they're going to acquire E1. And I could be completely wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. But look at what they got going on. Let's look at where all the dilution is. All right, they're adding shares, but they're retaining value. All right, I'm fired up. The coffee is kicking in. You got coffee E-Rock tonight. Oh, yeah. All right. 2022 revenue, 78.3 million. Net profit, 4.5 million. Yes, the profit margin needs to increase. But if the ERT acquisition happens, that is going to resolve a lot of that because they can expand their markets into the U.S. market even more so. All right. 2022 revenue run rate, 140 million. That's the Q4 annualized. That's not saying that they did 140 million in all of 2022. It's just a run rate. And it's a pretty damn good run rate for a company that has only been at it for 2 years. All right, total assets, $250 million. Nothing to see there, right? 2023 annual revenue forecast, 20 million, or sorry, 200 million. I apologize, Nick and JP. Additional business progress highlights. 2021 and 22 audits completed. SEC reporting and penny stock exempt. Expansion to 11 companies in the group. This isn't one company, and that is going to grow. Expect that to be like 20 by the end of the year. I'm hoping. That'd be great. Don't take my word for it. I'm wrong a lot. Ask my wife. She'll tell you that. 150 million in existing purchase orders. No, God love her. She's great. Increase to over 10 million square feet in facilities and workforce of over 1,200. All right. A lot of that is QIND. Now, I want you to put this in perspective right now. Here I am. All right. 10 million square feet. We still have Serbia to deal with. That is impacted by the Chinese, the Ukraine conflict, the Russia conflict, like the whole situation, the whole disaster over there right now. And if you think that's a rather valid excuse, to not being able to solidify, occupation of the site, it's very frustrating for them. You think they just want to stall their business, but they're not stopping what they're doing. They're continuing about their business. They're building ERT, Hyperion's, becoming more prevalent, replay solutions. That's going to be a thing too. So I don't know. Yes, I'm going on an Ilus tangent, and I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it. And the new headquarters in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. This is the thing, and it's sort of funny, and I got to laugh at this. And I'm going to call. Is Jimbo with me right now? All right. I want to know, and I got to pick on my brother a little bit because we looked at the EGAL video. All right. I'm just sorry. I feel like disconnected from you guys. I'm back. Hi. So. This is the whole thing, and this is what really bugs me. He goes like this. I go, it's a real company. It's headquartered in Dubai. They have real offices, and so Eagle literally went there, met JP. He actually toured the facility. Great video. It was awesome. Search it up on YouTube. I'm sure if you ask Eagle on Twitter, he'd gladly share it with you. He would. All right. So he goes, well, why are they wasting all the money on a big office? Oh man, why? If this was a garage in South Florida, and the question would be, well, why is the office in a garage? It's obviously a scam. You can't please the negative thinker in this world. Why is the office so big? Why is the office so small? Oh my God, but they don't have an office. Well, they need an office. Oh, but okay. So I think it's best to let the people that are running the business make those decisions. All right. Now, yes, this is the OTC. People get burned all the time because most of these businesses aren't any business of substance. It's just the fact. All right. But we are lucky enough to have companies like Ilus, like CYBL, hopefully DVLP, they're going to show up their acquisitions. Companies with products, companies with revenue, companies with contracts, companies with global outreach. And this is all during a recession. If these guys are putting up revenues, okay, like this, in a recession, if they're still managing, even with the hindrance over there in Serbia, if they're still able to do all of this in a recession and still able to finagle their way into the U.S. market with other acquisitions and really put their footprint and build on stone and not sand, like JP said, I mean, when the economy returns, when global sentiment returns, when all these crappy things happen, stop. I think that we're going to have positioned ourselves nicely. That's just how I feel. And I know I just got to say it because, nobody likes where the share price is at now. I think it sucks, like I said, but it is what it is. But it's not like they're sitting there with their thumb up their ass doing nothing. They're still building their business, and they've had a 600% increase year over year. Come on. I mean, it's no brainer. It's no brainer. And I just can't. I better stop drinking the coffee.